What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here. We are back with the Expedition of the Damned, a Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition campaign, starring, the crew of the expedition. And of course, I'm your DM for the night, Jumbo Thick. If we want to do brief introductions before we get into the in medias res, as they refer to it, let's start with Pierce Galactic.
What's going on, everybody? It's Chris. I'm back. Here I am.
He's back.
Glad to be back. I will once again be playing everybody's favorite handgunner, Wolfram Kistler. He is, since everybody else says that, he is 5'10", dark brown hair, blue eyes. If I remember, he has a savage scar here, and he has one on his face.
He does.
He is not attractive, although he does have a little bit of wit once in a while. And I think secretly he's the biggest hero of all because he shot so many people in the back that could hurt us, like Henry, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's slide on over to the second biggest, hero of them all, Dan Decker.
That's right, Dan Decker here, playing Nog Throat Weaponer, who is a 10.5-foot ogre. He's friend of the little guy. He's got Roy Rumster.
Roy the Rumster.
Within the that would be his halfling cook, and oftentimes Molotov factory, and of course, Nog bears much allegiance to Mr. Luthor along the way. And it gets himself into quite the fracas from time to time, smashing those medium and small creatures as he can.
Indeed.
It's good fun. Good fun.
Let's slide on over to Doobie209.
Hello. Henry, the now 6 foot tall. Or am I 6'1"? I'm 6'1" according to my character sheet. 6 foot 1 inch, white hair, blue eyed, probably 17-year-old knight. Previously, just to do a little character upgrade, I had taken Fearless Chaos. And okay. I now have the talent called War Leader.
All right.
So
I like it.
What I've been doing with my XP lately.
Getting those leadership chops buffed up. I love it. Last but not least for the night, Jumbo Smooth.
Hello everyone, I am Jumbo Smooth. I play Luther Steinhauer. He's a pyromancer. He's 6'1", 18 years old, red hair.
Is he though?
Very attractive.
I think he's 6 feet.
He's 6'1".
Well, I think Henry's 6'2" then.
Henry is a small man, all right?
More.
Always has been, always will be, you know?
Inch taller than Luther.
This is bullshit. He's already great in height, day after day. But he's a pyromancer from the city of Altdorf. And he is recently graduated to Master Pyromancer. So he's got a seat at the table now. Big chief.
Does. Yes.
He has his own apprentice now. We've got exciting new stuff. I'm excited to see this Feng Shi character.
Feng Shi?
Seems interesting, mysterious man, mysterious peddler in the sands.
Mysterious peddler in the sands. Yeah,
I like it, so I'm excited to see what he's up to.
All right. Well, we should definitely catch up with him then. So, last we left off, the crew of the expedition has finally began their journey through the sands of Araby, finally leaving the Sheik and venturing towards their current destination of Sudenburg. A destination that Luther knows is possibly just a stopping point in their journey. The rest of you may not know this, at least, as Luther has become more privy to more delicate information held within the upper echelons of the command structure of the expedition. As you left, you were outfitted with a rather sizable caravan, most of it armored, as well as stocked with provisions at the behest of the Sultan of Lashik, as well as a small contingent of his own personal harem guard that will be acting as actual guards for the caravan itself in dire times. So, in addition to that, we did go over the current resources of the expedition previously, Wolfram. And currently, you have at your disposal, because I updated this. All right. You were given the Regiment of Harem Guard. You were also given the armored caravan, which might come into play here. As well as you will remember, you do also have in your possession various constructs, not just the one Luther has, but each of the more higher mages have their own construct of some kind. These large automaton-like creatures bound to their service that you guys won favor with the shroud. I believe that Wolfram negotiated that. You currently have 2 regiments of militia sellswords through various merchant contracts that you guys picked up. Nazaro picked up, at least, through your help. You also have 100 knight converts from the local populace that are under the command of Lord Helwig that have bolstered the kind of like shattered remnants of the Knights Panther. Some of the only former members of said household operating in more leadership roles, some similar to how Henry is currently performing, as Henry has been elevated in status significantly over the past soon time. You opted, after vigorous discussion with the upper management of the expedition, with Luther getting to really put in his own 2 cents, being as he is now in a leadership position, to continue with your trek over the land. That was ultimately what you decided on. And you had a few ways you could have went. The first being you could have attempted to move north out of Lashik. However, it was very ill-advised, as although you had shattered the White Skull's warband, the small pockets of it that still exist are kind of scattered to the north, mostly, and some of them into the mountains. While not unified, they still present a sizable threat in and of themselves that will have to be dealt with at some point, or just left to their own devices to kill each other off. Deciding that would not be a very advisable route, you also had the option of following the River of the Serpent, which would have led you through the mountains into the Great Desert, bypassing the need to going north. However, has its own set of troubles, specifically being it would have been difficult for the actual wagons of your caravan to actually make their way through the mountains proper. That would be a difficult journey. It could be done, it would just be difficult. Seeing as how time was of more of a factor in your decision making, as you've spent quite some time in Lashik already, and who knows how quickly whatever events are transpiring out in the world. You opted then to move southwards, seeking the more well-traveled route. You're going to move south through the Land of Assassins into the Cobra Pass, which will bypass the need to pass by the Palace of the Wizard Caliph, and of course the Eunuch Mountains, which are known to be rife with possible... What would be the word for that? Possible military contributors that may or may not act as slavers in their own course. Could have been a good place to pick up some extra muscle. Also could have been a place where maybe you were targeted yourselves. But opting to move towards the Covert Pass, which will take you past will take you into the Great Desert itself, and then you will have to figure your way through the Great Desert all the way to Sudenburg. But we're not even to that point yet. We're currently just over the River of the Serpent, moving into the land of the assassins. When you spotted a small warband of Borboi riders, savage orcs, more than likely a small splinter of the Wa. They didn't appear to be carrying your personal caravan. However, seeing as how orcs being orcs, they probably would have eventually bothered you in some way. You opted to pursue them and head off the threat before it could do any damage to you. Taking a small group, mostly just yourselves, Henry's knights, and some more stalwart companions, Rory the Rumster, and of course, a couple other individuals. You, through a very successful
Johanna
stealth
de Vries.
roll, yes, Johanna de Vries. That is our trusty duelist's second. You, with a very good, very, very impressive stealth roll from all of you, managed to sneak up on the Borboi while they were making a camp. It appears that they had just ransacked a much smaller caravan than your own, and were currently roasting humans over a large fire pit, with one of them being captured with a large wagon that we will describe shortly. You all set up an ambush. There were around at least 40, 50 orcs down in the camp. And the five of you, well, I should say like probably 12 or so, if you're including the knights and everyone else, slaughtered the Borboi with no casualties. Very quickly. It was decisive and destructive. And there was blood in the sands, for sure. You not only slaughtered all the orcs and most of their boars, but also managed to save the lone captured human that was yet to be roasted, a more older kind of gentleman that appeared to be of Far Eastern descent, one by the name of Feng Shi. I do believe that Lucien was the one who freed him of his bonds, and he thanked you very much for rescuing him and offered to requested to camp with you guys at least for one night. And we're going to see how that went. So currently, we're picking up. A lot of you have mounted back up. I believe Nog was carrying a fine assortment of orc carcasses, boars, and whatnot. Could probably drag some of the boars behind you. They would make good food, good fresh food for the expedition. Lots of meat on these animals. But you return back to camp upon it getting dark. It's almost nightfall. But when you return, Master Feng Shi requests a formal meeting with the leaders of the current caravan. Magister Weiss says he wants no part of this. Magister Alderbrand comes into attendance, Nazaro as well, and of course, Luther. The Commander Hellwig has brushed off any duties of such, and he mostly defers them to Henry at this point. He seems more preoccupied with organizing his men and doing things away from the normal camp. I will say, just to give you perspective on the way you guys camp, Commander Hellwig, being the most experienced military veteran of this group, Nazaro has his experience, but Commander Hellwig is a much more veteran militiaman, has opted for you to spread out, to not keep yourself so condensed as to make yourselves easy targets. And this is mostly done into various encampments. You have essentially the central caravan, the actual wagons in the center. Then you have the militia and whatnot kind of circling around it, and then the knights are kind of off to the side, and then the wizards just scatter themselves appropriately, because they don't take up much space with their golems and whatnot. The harem guard act as a defense for the actual wagons. They mostly just protect them day and night. They take shifts sleeping and whatnot. But currently you do lack scouting parties and various other possible things you might want to look into at some point if we ever get the opportunities. And this meeting is called forward. Just in time for Luther to step out, so Henry's gonna have to step up. But Feng Shi is brought into a tent that you kind of recognize, Luther. It looks like a very small tent, like it's tall, but it looks like only one person would fit inside of it. But as you push your way in, there is a very spacious abode that is present with wooden floors, almost as if this place is not what it seems. Luther, you have a similar experience. You own something that can operate in a similar fashion, as you are within the study of Magister Aldebrand. They're very strange. It is lined with books along the walls, books, parchments, scrolls, desks piled high with scrolls and parchments, strange arcane symbols and runes and just things in various places. A rather impressive looking telescope that you're not sure where it looks to because you can't see it from the outside. But Magister Aldebrand, sitting next to also a roaring fire in the fireplace, greets Feng Shi, kind of places both of his arms together in his sleeves and does a deep bow. It appears that Nazaro is present as well. He looks over Feng Shi, somewhat skeptical at first, but kind of relaxes down into a chair. You are motioned to sit as well, Luther and Henry. What exactly is the meaning of this? We seem to have picked up a straggler, Magister Aldebrand says. Feng Shi then, oh, yes. I've been rescued by these fine gentlemen. I see that you have quite the resources at your disposal, but perhaps you could do with more. Perhaps we could benefit each other. As you may have been told, my guard have been slain and eaten quite grisly, and I am in need of traveling to the east. Nazaro kind of like nods his head. What exactly were you coming from, friend? You're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, yes? Yes. I was coming from the Wizard Caliph's palace on official business from my betters. I am a humble traveling merchant. I have many connections throughout this land. I could be of great use to you all.
You have experience traveling these lands.
I do. I have made this journey many a time to go through the Great Sands, even. In the times of war, it is usually the best bet. Very few, let's just call them hungry responses. As long as you can avoid the bandits, it's not too bad. And again, if we travel through the lands of the dead, you will definitely need my contacts.
I have acquired a new talent. I was hoping I could employ currently.
Of course you have a lot of talent to just whip out. How many do you have even? Like 5 million talents?
I've got a lot of talents.
Of course you do.
Yes. Anyway, I have one called Magical Sense.
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
It says I'm able to sense the winds of magic in others.
Okay.
It says I may attempt a average plus 20 intuition test whenever you encounter a spellcaster. If you pass, you sense the target as a witch. Further, if you score an astounding success plus 6, you can also determine the target's highest channeling spellcasting ability.
Okay.
Can I see if Feng Shi is a spellcaster?
Sure. Go ahead and make your roll, Luther.
Thank you, sir. My intuition is actually not that great, so this might not go well. This might not go well. Let's see. Here we go. Roll it.
What you deserve.
Oh, it's not gonna be good. Oh, it's
9.
actually really good.
It's very good.
That's pretty good, bro.
It's pretty good. So that would be a 9 out of 59. Not plus 6 success levels, but
it's 5 success levels though. It's pretty significant. I mean, you could always spend a fortune point and make it 6 success levels.
That's true. I think I'll just hold off on that though. Okay. I'm willing to just accept if he is has the power of the wind.
You do sense wind coming off of him, for sure.
Okay.
It appears to be... Oh man, what's the name of that wind? I don't know I can't remember the magical name, but it's the wind of heaven. The wind of divination.
Divination. Okay. Yeah.
I think of the official name right now. Damn it, man. I'm driving crazy.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
Izir?
Maybe. That sounds right. Yes.
Something like that? Okay.
You can sense that for sure. There might be something else mixed in. You're not sure, Luther.
Okay. Well, I think it would benefit our party a great deal to have someone who's traversed these lands before. Wildcat name. Anyway, I do have a singular question though. How did you manage to survive your assaulters, your attackers?
Oh, they said I did not have enough meat on my bones. They were saving me as a toothpick, I believe is what they referred.
As far as I know about orcs, that checks out.
They were quite... these were much more savage than the ones I have been accustomed to.
What kind of trade do you...
I sell all kinds of goods, knickknacks, and bubbles. Mostly I deal in, let's just say, weapons of war.
And you said you were at the Palace of the Wizard Khalif.
Indeed. He has been... I should not speak on the Wizard Khalif's behalf. His business is his business. But should we need to strike up a deal, perhaps I could manage something for you?
Our expedition is always in need of arms and weaponry, I believe. Forgive me, I'm not super familiar with the type of merchandise you carry. What is your specialization?
Oh, indeed. What is the large ogre that you had with you? Could you have him fetch something for me?
Of course. One moment. Let me
What's
step
that?
out for a second.
Step outside the tent. Hear Nog.
Yeah.
Somehow just knew he was being talked
Yeah.
about.
Someone knows. I hear something.
Everything's about Nog, right?
Nog, if you wouldn't mind, our friend here, Feng Shi, requests your help in lugging some items.
Yeah, you see the small, like, kind of hunched over, while he's wearing like a, I wouldn't call it a robe. It's more of just like a cloth wrapping around his person. He doesn't appear to be very elaborately dressed. He's not dripping in gold and jewelry. He has a bit of a limp, and he has like a strange little cane that he's adorned himself with. But as he kind of like moves towards Nog, yes, you will do fine. This way, please. Right over here, if you will follow me to my cart. Do you see that large box there? I think a man of your
needs to be
stature
over
could...
somewhere else.
Yes, if you would bring it with us, please, and we will. I need to show them to the leaders of this caravan.
I put it in my tiny little box in my hand.
It is not tiny little box, Nog.
Oh,
it is big box.
Size. Big box.
For you, Nog, you pick it up. It has weight, but I mean, you're
I'm all right.
You're fine.
Okay. Yeah.
You get the feeling, Nog, that it would take several people to lift this, whatever it is. Several normal humies. Rory's just kind of like sitting on your shoulder. Oh, that looks proper heavy, master.
That's pretty good. Rory is pretty heavy.
Indeed. Perhaps we can get us a little extra to this, huh? Maybe I've gone Aussie for some reason. Damn it. Falling in. Shit. I need my touchstone and bring him back. Fuck.
It's
too late now. It's gone.
Roy the Rumster.
You bring it back, Nog. Escorting Feng Shi back to the tent flap where Luther just kind of holds it open.
That's right.
Motions for you to just kind of, you can't quite fit Nog, so you just kind of like put your arm through holding it and kind of like put it inside. It feels extremely warm when you put your hand inside too. It's very odd feeling. It's temperate controlled in there.
Oh, that's
you kind of
fancy
like
hut.
drop the box, pull your hand down. Looks quite strange in there, Master Nog.
Yeah. Well, you might fit, but I sure can't go in there, Rory.
Do you want me to give it a look?
Oh, you might scout it in there for me, see what's going on.
Anytime, Governor. I got your back, Master. He kind of like scuttles down and little feet kind of peeks in there. He's going to try to sneak in.
Never hurts to have Rory looking out for you.
Not good. He's not very stealthy. So there's the sloshing of the various liquids that he has attached to his little backpack, kind of like moving around as he kind of moves in, peeks his head in. Luther, you immediately spot him. Everyone spots him. Just kind of ignore him, essentially. But Feng Shi kind of motions towards Henry at this point. If you would, sir, if you could drag this a little closer.
Don't mind if I do. I'm just as tall as Luther and stronger. More attractive.
Quite muscled. I figured a military man would definitely be the man for this job. Yes.
Is this like a travel trunk, or is it just like a chest?
It looks like a large wooden box. It has handles on the sides of it.
Like a crate.
Like it's a
like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's what
but not.
Yeah.
Okay, I shouldn't say box. I should say it is a box, but it's more rectangular, chest-like. It's still a wooden box, though. It does have a dragon-like symbol stamped onto the side of it, and there is language none of you know written across it as well. Strange symbols, one might say.
as I carry it over. This symbol, is this the symbol of your family crest?
I will say, Henry, you don't carry it, you drag it, because it is very heavy.
Fine, I'll drag it.
It's heavy, Henry.
I
mean, unless you want to make a roll for it, Henry. If you want to roll and you get you get at least 3 success levels, we'll say that you can pick it up. No problem.
You're gonna do it, bro.
You could do
I
it.
want to see some dice roll.
Let's see it. I want to roll through Batman.
If you fail, maybe you pull a hammy.
Oh, I did it! I did
16,
it!
no problem. No problem.
16 out of 51.
So strong.
Henry, your new strength surging for you. You pick it up. Both arms. And she's shocked. She's like, oh, you are a stout one indeed. So you kind of march forward, push it down, and then kind of like drop it in the center of Alderbrand and Nazaro. Nazaro looks... his interest is piqued for sure. Alderbrand appears to be somewhat amused at what is happening as well. Kind of begins to stroke his kind of rotund face. Well, this is quite interesting indeed. What a development. I smell something strange coming from this box. Yes. Let me see what I can do for you. Feng Shi moves over, and he taps on the top of the wooden crate, and you hear something kind of crack. Taking his 2 grizzled hands, he begins to peel up the top of the box that kind of comes off, falls to the side, and it reveals what all of you would recognize is almost like a cannon. Without wheels. However, it's shaped strangely. First off, it is very well crafted to the point that it has quite a bit of ornamentation built into it. The head of the cannon has been formed into the mouth of a gaping dragon. Where it becomes into where you would kind of load in the normal cannonballs, there is no opening. Instead, there is some kind of bizarre, almost what looks like a smaller hole on the side of it.
Like a breach?
Kind of. This would be strange for pretty much anyone present to see. This is a different type of engineering that is very specific to the Far East. At this point, Feng Shi looks very proud of himself as you all kind of look at it. He says, yes, I have in my possession let's just say a little less than a dozen of these dragon cannons at my disposal. And I would, of course, be willing to put them to use in your defense, should you allow me to travel with you.
This is a cannon, by the way. It's not a personal weapon, right?
It looks like... So, it's not like a great cannon.
Okay? Yeah, I figured.
Is this the kind of cannon you would see on the railing of a sailing ship? Where it's really not a man could not use it, but perhaps an ogre could, or it could
similar. Yes, yeah. Nog could probably use this, no problem.
That's what I'm hoping.
He says, yes. And he kind of reaches further into the box, and he produces what looks like these handles that can be placed onto the side of the cannon. It is a 2-man weapon, unless you are incredible in strength. But it will bathe your enemies in gouts of the dragon's flame. It's a flamethrower.
Oh, I figured. Sounds
crazy. Oh my gosh.
Sounds very interesting.
What works?
Well...
By the way, Jumbo, I'm not even part of this conversation. As a player, I'm here, but I'm actually assuming I'm off Dyson with the Harem card or something like that. So
of course.
Okay.
As you As you see here, and he starts to go into very technical terms on how the weapon functions. He appears to know what he's talking about, though none of you have the aptitude for mechanical advantages to possibly understand what the hell he's telling you. It'd be like if a master weaponsmith described to you the process of crafting it. As you kind of like nod your head, Aldobrand simply just nods along. Nazaro is fascinated with the application of said guns, and immediately you can see him kind of mulling over the use that could be put out of this. And when we arrive in Sudenburg, that is where we will be parting ways, yes? Do we get to perhaps keep said merchandise? I think she kind of like strokes his beard. Possibly. What exactly would you be willing to pay?
Well, of course, the safe travel across the sands as a small down payment, I'm sure, would help reduce the price of these magnificent cannons.
You're right, my friend, my savior. I would, of course, I would never dream of charging you asking price, but I mean, these are technically not even my own equipment. These are my master's. I must sell them. I cannot return empty-handed, you see.
Certainly. I'm sure we can work out some sort of arrangement once we get to Sudenburg.
Indeed.
I mean, he might not return after all.
And your master, do you mind if we know who they are?
My master enjoys his privacy, very much so.
Of course. And you said you're from the east. Any place we would be aware?
The far east, one might say.
Yes.
One might say the beacon of all civilization the world over. Surely you've heard of us.
Have I heard of, does Luther know anything about it?
No. There's no way
okay.
any of you know what he's talking about.
I didn't know,
That's like
I didn't know
so
how,
remote.
Yeah. I didn't know how common
the lands of the dragons. The Grand Cathay.
Never heard of it.
We keep the world safe with our Great Wall.
Great Wall, you say?
Well, I should not be surprised. We have become much reclusive in our age, but as you can see, we are willing to do a fair amount of trade.
I must say, Feng Shui, I would love to discuss this cafe you come from. Perhaps at a later date, but I believe a vote is in order to see if you will be allowed to come with us.
By all means, yes. Would you require me to leave?
If you wouldn't mind, just for
Of course.
privacy's sake.
Take your time. I'll go and enjoy that big one out there and the little small one standing by. As he kind of like hobbles towards the entrance. Rory, thinking he's sneaky, kind of like
Sneaks
moves
out.
back like a 2-year-old peeking around the corner. As the room empties, Nazaro looks towards the rest of you and Alderbrand and says, this is not even a question. That man is coming with us. It is happening. I want those weapons.
Yes, the weapons are very enticing. I would love to see their application in
I mean, you love the fire. I love the fire. Bring the fire.
It's true. It's true. Magister Alderbrand, I'm sure you are aware, but the man has the scent of the winds upon him.
Yes, indeed. He's a strange one. Of course, I noticed.
Well, do not, Nazaro, Henry, please, do not underestimate that man. I was not able to tell how powerful he was, but he definitely has an air about him.
Is that going to cause a problem with your rival schools? Your ways?
No, not so much that, just concerning when it comes to the art of channeling.
Someone better than you.
Well, I mean, he very well could be better. And that would be troublesome for all of us, I believe.
Don't sell yourself short, Luther. You are one of the greatest pyromancers here. At least in the top 3.
Okay. I say it's too good of an offer to pass up as well. I agree with Nazaro. I say he should travel with us.
We just have to figure out a use for these guns.
Oh, I'm sure we can find.
Oh, I can figure out many a use for them indeed. I know a certain gunner that maybe we can put his men to better use.
Oh. Maybe we could fashion it onto my golem, Ignis, as some sort of.
I think you're going a bit far now, Luther. But you know, it is you try to procure my gun for yourself. You do not need gun. You have fireball. Yes.
Well, I mean, yes, but if my golem has fireball as well, I mean...
That is not going to be a problem, because I'm going to have a full team of fire people doing the dragon's business.
Very well. Henry, you agree? You should come? Yay, nay?
Yes, it's always beneficial for us to have more ranged firepower.
Henry, I must say I am pleased that you're in these war meetings with us.
Not by choice.
Your commander seems to have much faith in you.
That's fine.
Yes,
like
indeed,
said,
it does.
I would rather be with my men. There's things that need to be done.
Well, Henry, I prefer your company over Hellwig's any day. Between you and me.
As a compliment, Nazaro.
Well, if you are done with this meeting, I could use time for study, if you please. See yourselves out. That would be much appreciated.
Of course, Magister Alderbrand.
Luther.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a perception test.
Oh, no.
Here comes the stab in the back.
I'm not good at perception either.
Too
A
bad.
knife in the
I'm
dark.
not there with you.
Oh, that is going to be 3 degrees of failure. 35.
It's too bad. That's a success for me.
Be occupied with your...
I do have a sixth sense.
Yeah, I don't care about your sixth sense.
I'm just saying. I don't know if
preoccupied with the events unfolding and the mystery of Feng Shi, the peddler. You leave the tent and begin to turn to your normal night, whatever that may entail.
I assume we're cooking up those boars for the men.
Exactly. There's a feast to be had. Morale is raised. Fresh meat.
It's time to go find our favorite sniper. See what he's up to.
Just listen to the jangling purse, then you'll find me.
Luther, I will leave that job to you. You can give him the good news.
Yes. Of course, I will look at find Wolfram. Ignis, onward.
Ignis stoops down.
Yeah.
Picks you up.
Yes.
Puts you on its back where there's a mounting system for you to like kind of lean against him. He just begins to very slowly trudge his way through the camp. You move in the direction of where the militia are camped, Luther. Of course, Master Nog is there, cooking, doing his thing. Roy the Rumster is kind of brewing as well, helping Nog sprinkle some things in his pot every once in a while. Nog loves it. He's a carry.
He's so much better at this than I am, you know?
He's helping you out, Nog. He's helping you out. But you see them cooking and whatnot. Some of the militiamen that have been around a while are kind of like eagerly awaiting whatever Nog is fancying up. Some people are excited for it.
Pulled pork.
And then you find Wolfram. Wolfram, let's see how lucky you are.
Oh no.
Not very. Let's
lucky,
see what's going on.
Because I do believe in this system we actually have a skill for this in particular. We have gamble. So I want you to roll a gamble for me. So that is an actual thing.
Gamble is.
Let's watch. I'm excited about these dice rolls coming up.
We find the
based off of intelligence.
It's based off intelligence.
I think
Correct.
it's intelligence. Yeah.
Real quick, Jumbo. I don't have any money because we went to town. I gave it up because we changed levels and haven't rolled yet. So do we want to?
Yes. Let's go ahead and let's do that because you hadn't gotten yours yet for sure.
Okay.
So what is your current level?
I am silver 5, I believe.
Okay. You can roll 5 d4s.
Hold on, I might be silver 3. I don't want to do wrong. I mean, I want the extra. Hold on here. Silver 5. Cool.
Yep.
So five what? D10s?
D4s, I think.
Last time I rolled 3 D10s.
I think that's for copper. Let me make sure for silver though.
Yeah, it goes down a lot.
I think silver is quite a bit less.
Gold is like you just get a gold.
Gold, you just get one of whatever it is. Yeah.
It's like
shit. That's so stupid.
That's Warhammer for you.
Unless you're Nog, and Nog gets like.
Nog does get a lot of stuff.
He gets the bank, bro.
He gets like 5 D10 gold.
He's a stack and shatter right there.
Don't be so heartful against Nog.
Damn it!
I'm jealous. No, this is great in admiration.
You know, well, thank you. As ogres, we need a lot.
Apparently.
Fair enough.
He needs. Well, that's the thing. He's supposed to be paying for food.
Food, yeah.
And
Just
it's
keeps
expensive.
killing it all.
You find it.
I wonder what orc meats taste like. You know.
I imagine. I don't know.
I like sautéed mushrooms. So I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
I imagine it's kind of fungal, but then it's not really though. It'd be kind of weird for sure. Rules.
I feel like it'd be like a vegetarian, like shiitake patty that they would use on a veggie burger.
Shiitake patty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I could get one of those flame cans on the Ignis, it would be like a dreadnought. That's right.
Jesus. You're a dreadnought? Really?
And then maybe you could speak a little bit and you're like, yes, brother. And then, you know. That's
gonna
pretty cool.
Say something about the chapter master too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not into that. I'm not into it one bit.
Damn it.
It's gotta be here at the beginning.
Hold on, I have trappings just pulled up. Give me a second.
I could put it on his face and he could be like the destroyer from Thor, you know?
The destroyer? Really?
They say.
Hold on.
Okay, so it's 2d10 for brass, 1d10 for silvers.
Okay. Yeah, I got it right here. Cool. Alright, let's see what it is. Let's see what
and 1d4.
Let's see what I'm gonna lose with some dice.
No, just one gold.
Damn it.
Right. Good try.
I don't like the idea of the silver.
That's a nice roll.
32 silver.
Yeah.
So you currently have 32 silver, Wolfram.
Is that 3 gold?
3 gold and 2 silver, technically.
How can he have more money than me?
He's.
This sucks.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's almost as much
Doesn't
as
doesn't
David
make any
gave me.
sense.
Wolfram's been killing it. Okay, what can I don't know what to tell you.
Damn it.
So Wolfram,
Pays to be poor.
make me a gamble roll now, Wolfram, with your 32 silver that you have.
Am I betting it all, or how's
Bet it all, baby.
No,
That's what Wolfram would do.
well, I mean, if you want to.
How about
This
5
is-
silver?
Is it scraps? Is it strip poker? What are we doing?
This would be
I
an
imagine it's,
Arabian dice game.
Nice.
That is a failure.
Just a failure.
Mhm.
Let me roll for the harem guard you're playing against. Critical success.
Shit. My money's disappearing. I just got it.
Yeah. Wolfram, you
All
lose
right.
5 silver. But as you're walking, as you see in the distance, you see Wolfram currently kind of standing up. There are a few militiamen kind of gathered around, sitting on the dirt where a flattened place has been dusted off very well on the ground, making it kind of like clay deep beneath, exposed. A table has been placed as well. And there is a very gristled-looking harem guard sitting at said table, in addition to the few militiamen and Wolfram. And this woman was still veiled, her weapons kind of sitting next to her. Currently has what looks like a massive amount of chips. And by chips, I mean silver and copper or brass pieces sit on her side of the table, where most of the men are just looking destitute. Wolfram being one of them, as he watches his money get scooped to the side. She looks towards Wolfram and says, in Arabian, she says something to you, Wolfram. Do you speak Arabian, Wolfram?
You wouldn't let me learn it.
It's not I wouldn't let you
Yeah,
learn
that's
it.
right. No, I specifically asked you for an endeavor if I could try and learn it. You said, nah.
I mean, you can try. You have to have a tutor.
You would let me learn.
All right. At this time, I don't know Arabian.
So, Wolfram, she says something in Arabian. One of the other harem guard that are standing nearby walk over, and she kind of like bends over and whispers into your ear, Wolfram. She says she'll be taking more than your silver this night.
Oh shit! Everything I dreamed of.
I lean back and with a huge grin, I give her a little wink.
Give her a wink.
Hopefully that's not offensive in this culture.
There is a the woman takes a silver piece and flicks it towards you, Wolfram. She points towards you, and then she points towards possibly her dwelling for the night.
Ooh.
I'm gonna look up at the. Is it evening? Is it night?
It is. Yeah,
dark yet?
it's dark at this point. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look up at the see if I can see where the moon is and the stars. So I can approximate. Is it 8:15? Is it 10:30? We're like not quite ready to turn in. How about another? We don't have any ale, do we? We're just out in the middle of the desert. we have
Provisions
any,
that you brought
honey?
with you.
All right. Well, I'll kind of look over there and I'll be like,
As she stands, you hear the
how grizzled
massive.
is she?
She looks like she is a veteran soldier.
Oh man, I love her. Even better.
Yes. She's veiled, so you can't quite see her face entirely, but you do see
God, I
just
hope she's human.
along the exposed flesh, you do see like scarring and obvious like battle scars and wounds and burns and various other things. On top of the very muscular toned body that she has. She has an 8-pack, Wolfram. You do not. You do not.
I do not. I'm too skinny for one, man.
Exactly.
All right, I want to just ask a quick question. This is a female, correct?
You hope so.
Yeah, okay. I do hope so.
That was the only one way to
Either way,
find
it's going to
out.
happen.
I think it's an only woman. I think it's an only
I
female
referred
guard.
to this as the harem guard for a reason.
Yeah.
I heard you, but I know you. I know
How
you
dare
like,
you?
like,
How dare you,
delightful
Wolfram?
surprises, bro.
He's right to ask. You know what I mean?
You're like,
That
"Ooh,
precedent's
let's so
being
calm. Let's drop a sea creature in there. I mean, what you do?
So much slander against the game master.
As you
No, these are facts.
as she stands and kind of begins to walk away with her large satchel of money, some of the militiamen kind of like jab you a little bit. There you go, that's my boy. They kind of jab you a little bit, and then you hear the large clunking feet of Ignis and Luther calling out for you, Wolfram.
No, I don't. I have
Wolfram!
stuffed my ears with wax.
You go, I'm not hearing this. As you begin to walk
I'm
up,
shaking my
Luther,
remaining
you see him
silver.
immediately, Luther, you see him
No.
kind of trying to
Wolfram!
escape from you.
My friend, wait.
I hate you so much.
Wolfram, I bring
Who's
great
it?
news.
No, it's so good to see you, but I am making inroads with the native population. You do not, please, at this time, do not disturb me. We do not want to insult them.
Nonsense. I bring great news, Wolfram. We have a new toy for you and your men.
Hey, what?
Yes. Actually, it looks very similar to that gun you have on. He has a dragon rifle, right, or something.
He has
The rifle has a dragon's mouth at the end of the barrel.
Actually, the artistry looks very similar to your.
It does have
your
similar
rifle.
craftsmanship, even.
That man, Feng Shi, that we rescued from the orcs. Apparently, he's some sort of merchant, and he deals in death. And particularly the type you employ, firearms, some sort of object that can create flames.
Let's talk more. Show me what you're talking about.
Sure, this way.
The woman is at her tent, Wolfram, and she looks towards you. She motions.
Wolfram, time is of the essence.
Trust me, I don't take a lot of time on this.
Wolfram, please. Ignis, help him out, please.
Ignis reaches
I mean,
down
like,
for
look,
you, I'm
Just you. So I'm like dangling like this now.
as he grabs you. No! Picks you up.
Luther, you bastard!
You bastard!
Wolfram.
As
I'm
you
glad I shot your friend.
as you are
Wolfram.
as you're being picked up, Wolfram, you see the woman shrug her shoulders, and then she points towards one of the other militiamen that were standing there, and then motions them over. And the guy kind of looks at you, smiles, missing a couple teeth,
He's gonna
and then he
mouth this off
takes
in a minute.
a in on there.
I will use a sailor's mouth of curses at Luther the entire time he drags me away.
As Ignis just kind of holds
like
you,
that.
your feet kicking, as you are moved back towards Feng Shi's peddler's caravan.
I'm sorry, Wolfram. I don't speak Low Reichsfield. I don't understand quite all the words you're saying.
Yes, I forgot you Southerners are stupid.
Wolfram, please. Ignis, break a bone. No.
I don't think it would just break one.
I know. I'm just gonna bring him over to the Wolfram. I'm gonna bring him over to Feng Shi and I guess the
Yes.
crates or whatever.
Yeah.
And Nazara, I assume, is over there.
Mm-hmm. Feng Shi is currently in the back of the caravan is opened up, and there's just all kinds of weird shit dangling all over the outside of the thing and the inside.
Is there a Mogwai in there?
There could be easily. That's what it kind of looks like on the inside. And he's in there. Oh yeah. He's kind of inside the back of it, kind of, and you can see there's like a bed and like incense burning. Turns around. Oh yes. Yes. This must be the marksman. Yes.
Oh yes, that is I.
Indeed.
Saved us many a time with my dead-eye shots.
He strokes his kind of like long, thin beard and the kind of strange mustache that he has kind of dangling down. Yes, indeed. You do have the look about you. Well, let us... I will give you a gander, but for more practical use, I will need to give you full instruction. It will take some time, and I am but an old man. I will need my rest soon, but perhaps just a peek. And he kind of moves over towards the back, close to where you and Luther are standing. And similarly to how he did in the tent, he removes the top of one of these large crates, revealing the dragon cannon.
Okay, now I have super high range black powder. I also have range engineering. Is there any chance I might even possibly recognize what this is, besides the fact it's a firearm?
It's definitely, this would be more of a, you can tell just by its construction that this is definitely like a weapon emplacement. However, with its construction and the fact that he kind of like shows you where handles and whatnot go, you would recognize this as kind of like a weapon team, where 2 or 3 men could not quickly, but they could shuttle this around a battlefield and place it and use it. Definitely something you don't want to be like running and using. More of a standing, I mean, most like your rifles as well. Similar situation. However, this does not fall under black powder. This falls under engineering, which I did not know you had.
Well, I'm glad I did.
Yes.
All right. So he's telling me a little bit about it.
He does.
Okay. But I'm going to have to wait for a little bit more formal training before I can actually have someone help me hoist it out and set something afire. Okay.
Mostly because it's going to take 2 people to operate it appropriately.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's that.
I'm impressed.
Dragged you over
Thank
here
you
for that. As Feng
It's
Shi
almost
says,
worth what you prevented, Luther.
Indeed. Oh, and this will help with your headaches. He hands you a small pouch, Wolfram.
How does he know I have those kind of special headaches?
This will help.
How?
Just use your pipe there in your breast pocket.
Okay, I will take it and I will. All right.
Indeed. Kind of like nods
As
his
a
head.
player, I'm very suspicious. I'm going to tell you that.
He pulls like a little cord and like a bamboo shoot like little divider, falls down, and you hear him kind of rummage around before he's ultimately going to be taking his rest. What are you guys doing?
Well, I had the plan to be in bed at this time, but perhaps we could you could fill me in on if you don't mind, on your little war meeting, or whatever it was you're doing over there.
Well, generally it was just to discuss if we would take Master Feng Shi here with us on our journey.
You said
we
yes.
decided
correct?
yes. We did.
Okay.
But that was about it.
How late is it? Is it time for us to?
It would be time
rest, probably.
for rest
Okay.
time for sure. All of you being of higher station, you're not required to do any watches yourselves. You can if you'd like to, but that's mostly doled out to your lessers, unless you choose to do so.
I feel a little blue in part of me, so I might want to do a little bit of a watch.
Okay.
Luther's not good at watching, so he's going to retire to his magical abode.
He is not good at watching.
So he's going to... I'll leave the watching to you, Wolfram.
As you return to the Ashen Chambers.
Very good.
Yes.
Wolfram, as you kind of like move out for the watch, do you partake in the pouch that was given?
Oh, I do. I immediately do.
Okay.
As soon as I go, sit
Kind of
back.
get out to the outside. You kind of like nudge one of the guys. It looked like he was kind of drifting to sleep and offer to take his place. He's very grateful to you. You take out your pipe, stuff it, light it, smoke it. Wolfram, as soon as you begin to taste the tobacco-like substance, a wave of euphoria just overtakes you. And as you exhale, a pinkish smoke comes out of your mouth and just kind of like dissipates out into the nothingness. And for the first time in a long time, Wolfram, the whisperings stop.
That's awesome. I guess I'm just going to keep smoking that bowl for a little while and maybe put on some Moody Blues or something. Just relax.
Just relax, yes.
Mm.
You look at your hand, you don't see the gaping hole that resides in it usually when you feast your eyes upon it. There's no rats chittering about. None of your companions are turning into Skaven. And you seem calm and relaxed for once.
Not teleporting from one part of the city to another part to shoot somebody.
That has not happened.
Okay. Excellent. This sounds like a win-win. What could possibly go wrong?
After a few hours, the effect wears off, Wolfram. And the chittering returns once again. The paranoia once again sets in. It appears to be a temporary effect. But
How much of this powder do I have?
you have enough to blast you a few smokes.
Okay. I'll probably hold it a little bit used when I'm right before I meet those assholes I call my friends.
Indeed. As you guys all rest for the night, we get on the road once again. So, I have a thing here for encounters and whatnot. I need, well, you guys don't have any guides. That's not good. So, Feng Shi is not a
official guide.
He's not like a scout guide through the terrain.
Okay.
He has general knowledge. He's not the carving the path dude. That's not him.
Oh, we don't have any like outriders or anything?
Yes, you don't have none of that, if you remember.
All right.
That was one of the elements you were lacking. So, in that case, I will need the next best thing, which is probably going to be Luther, making a survival roll.
That probably is true. Let's see. Survival. Where is it?
Now,
Outdoor survival. I see it.
yeah, outdoor survival. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go.
36.
36 out of 60.
Okay, pretty good. We are going to be doing this in blocks, so roll me a d10, please, Luther.
D10.
This will be how many days pass for this current travel. 4 days.
Cool.
So this is good for 4 days, Luther.
Okay.
Now roll me a d100.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Another D100 coming up. 15.
15. All right. As you are making your way through the land of assassins, making your way towards the Cobra Pass, you're approaching. In fact, you're getting quite close to the Cobra Pass itself. When the weather lightens up, the oppressive sun is somewhat obscured by clouds. A dust storm or anything like that doesn't start up, but it just becomes more temperate, more bearable than usual. In addition to this, you come across what appears to be a traveling circus.
In the middle of the desert?
In the middle of the desert. They are known as the Cabinet of Curiosities. As they are traveling, you guys set up. As you're set up, this Cabinet of Curiosities sets up outside of your camp, and kind of, there's no intrusions, but they offer free entertainment for anyone that wishes to enjoy.
Oh, I'm checking this out. There's not even a question here.
Wolfram's checking it out,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to do in the desert, so I'm assuming I would go as well. No.
Okay.
See?
Luther's going. Wolfram and Luther going to visit the cabinet. You are greeted by a far too tall, possibly mutant-like individual with a shaved, bald head. Appears to be Arabian. He does have a large ringmaster's cap that he places upon it. As he opens the flap to the very, very large tent. Welcome to the cabinet, where all your curiosities may be satisfied. As the two of you enter within, you see before you a strange and bizarre sight, as many of the militiamen and other individuals have been kind of lured in here by the mystique. You see strange sights on display. People freakishly mutated and strange and abominable ways, as well as feats of extraordinary skill. Someone swallowing swords, another dancing on daggers. Very strange and unique experiences, to say the least. There are what appears to be animals present as well from different parts of the world. Their prized star being a what you would recognize as a demigriff that is whipped by its tamer and is made to kind of raise up on its legs and cry out in a ear-piercing screech that the militiamen kind of like cheer for and clap. A strange and beautiful night of intoxicating scents, sights, sounds, and of course, beverages and food.
Oh, yes.
From, wouldn't you know it, the Empire, Bretonia, Kislev. Strange bowls from what only one could assume would be the ogre's tribes. All different walks of life represented in the Cabinet of Curiosities. Do either of you partake? in any of these many pleasures?
I would love to have some fine. If they have anything close to Bugman's, I will happily have a stein.
Ah, the alcohol, indeed. In that case, Wolfram, you were lured over by what appears to be a very well-muscled woman. Short, probably about like 4'8", but stout as hell. As she turns around, you notice that she is not a human. She is in fact a dwarf. Rugged as hell. You are given a very stout beverage that would peel the insides of a lesser man, Wolfram. You can give me a consume alcohol test.
Oh, I might be a lesser man.
You might be.
Do that, yeah. Because I believe that's toughness based, and yeah, well.
It is.
You're wanted one smile upon me.
Very nice.
Hold on. Wait a second. By a 2. I barely did that.
Good.
By 2. Yeah.
You managed to hold your liquor, Wolfram, and you do not succumb to the nauseating effects. You do have the drunken condition, though. Technically, it's a poison condition. For as long as the effects of this last, which is going to be for the next 8 hours. Wolfram's buzzed. Luther, do you partake in anything?
Let me see that flamethrower.
Not in any food or anything, but watching the spectacles and stuff. Luther's very curious. I'm assuming this place is just riddled with winds of magic.
Strangely enough, Luther, your senses are somewhat befuddled once you entered into the tent. It's hard to grasp the winds.
Well, yeah, not any kind of ingestibles he would be partaking in. Once he's probably seen all the sights and sounds, he'd probably leave.
I think he's leave.
Yeah.
As you leave, the large, very tall gentleman, the ringmaster, bids you adieu, Luther. He says, "Till next time, Mr. Steinhauer."
I'm sorry, sir. I don't believe we've met.
He tips his hat and then lowers himself down and moves into the tent where he disappears.
Luther did get me and drag me out of this. He didn't leave me in there, did he?
Oh,
I'm a goner, bro. What are you doing?
Were you drunk in there? Were you passed out?
I'm sure I'm on my feet, but I'm probably blacked out.
At the end of the night,
probably take my, I'll probably drag you out if.
I will say, at the end of the night, all of the militiamen and everyone that visited the cabinet returns to their camp safely, well rested, and you guys get a bump to the morale of the expedition.
Oh.
So you get a +10 bump to the morale of all of the members of the expedition for the next leg of your journey.
Yeah, I guess. Right. I feel sorry for the hippogriff. Or demogriff.
It's a demogriff.
We could try to steal it.
I felt like we were not going to be successful in that.
Never stopped me in the past.
I know. I just had a sense it was a dangerous place that we shouldn't test things.
Sometime in the middle of the night, strangely enough,
I will tell Henry about the demogriff.
No
magnificent creature.
none of the individuals on watch ever saw the cabinet pack up and move, but somehow by the time the sun came up, it was gone, with no tracks in sight.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first part of that's the first 4 days there. We actually, at this point, you do make it to what Feng Shi has described as yes, this is right there, that small gap, that is the Cobra Pass. We are on track. As you've made it to the pass itself. I will need, let's see here. It's going to take you 10 days to make your way through the pass. So, I mean, it's a full-size mountain range here. And while it is much more traversable, it's still, it's going to be a little bit of a travel. I need one of you to, well, I'm assuming it's going to be Luther again, to give me a outdoor survival roll.
$14 out of 60.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
It's pretty good indeed. All right, for this one, roll me another D100, please.
Okay. $21.
21. All right. Okay. As you begin to set off, making your way through the pass, all of you somewhat more aware of your surroundings. The first thing that might be somewhat troublesome is the previous weather of somewhat good fortune begins to pass. The heat begins to rise. And within this pass between the mountains, it's almost like being in a oven, as like the walls of the pass are emanating heat, in addition to the ground you walk upon, the sands themselves. Well, this isn't like Sahara dunes yet. It still is uncomfortable, to say the least. You will be slowed down a little bit, but after the full 10 days, you'll make it through the pass. But after the second night of leaving the Cabinet of Curiosities, let's see here, who would be the one advised? Wolfram. You are the ranking officer of the militia that is approached first. Because after the second night, Wolfram, one of the watchmen comes to you and informs you that he heard strange screams in the middle of the night. And he thinks that 1 or 2 men have gone missing.
I'm gonna ask him which direction. Is it like right behind us, or is it to our side? And is it even determinable?
He says he seems scared, and he tells you that he's not exactly sure where it came from. He just has a bad feeling why he's out on watch this past 2 days. He thinks that it might be coming from ahead of you, the direction you're going.
Okay. Who all has a horse of us?
All of you easily have access to horses. Luther and Henry have their own.
I should have my own.
Yeah.
And Nog can move like a horse. All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna approach the band, our little band here, and say exactly that the militiamen they're frightened. They apparently something ahead of us. It's It's terrorizing them. It's they're hearing sounds of screams and torture or something of some sort. I'm concerned to send a detachment down because one, their own fear may cause more trouble. But if it is something of serious danger, I prefer that we have a good idea of what we're facing. I request that you gentlemen come with me so we can investigate.
They're only hearing this at nighttime.
That's all he told me. He didn't clarify that. He did sound essentially nighttime.
Perhaps should we wait until nighttime?
Is it nighttime now?
This would have been after the watch. This would have been in the morning.
Oh, in the morning. Okay.
I think Sir Henry is probably wise on that. Perhaps we should travel while we have day, and then at nighttime, maybe perhaps take a small scouting party and see if we can investigate and come across this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we move from their position, would we not? Well, is this? Are these sounds? Are they following us every night?
From the way he spoke, and there was many of the men who seemed very, very frightened. It was not so much following us, but more preceding us. And I did try to ask him, but he could not clarify if it seemed like the noises were getting louder or anything like that. I could take if you wish to question him yourself. The man is, I could smell piss on him. That's just how fearful he was.
Well, it never hurts to keep an eye out this evening. I guess we could stay up a little later and see if go and patrol ourselves. See if come across any strangeness in the darkness.
I definitely request you, Luther. Strange is your mental name, so I absolutely have to have you. And Nog, also, your might is, well, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not worried when you're around.
And of course, a good pull for Master Rory.
Well, my parts store loves Master Rory. And Henry is the deadliest man I've ever seen in my entire life, so between him and Lucian, I have no fear of whatever threat we face.
And I will be preoccupied. My second is in need of extra curriculum. Surely you could handle it on your own.
I'm sure we will.
Of course.
I'm sure we will.
I also know what it's like to impart one's knowledge onto a lesson as I look to my apprentice.
As you look towards Ashwin Kepler, the man much older than you who just grits his teeth and looks
Kepler?
towards you.
You are a fine apprentice.
Yes, master.
I'm going to lean towards Luther and through gritted teeth and a hushed voice. You don't seriously plan on taking that decrepit old man with us?
But he's not that old, is he? I think
He's like in his late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Oh, that's old age in this time.
That's old age
Sure
for
it
you guys.
is.
This is old age.
I was not here. I wasn't here when you guys got him, so I'll just
Yeah.
You know, he is nothing compared to you. You must come along, Luther.
I of course.
Yes, but perhaps you should leave. He is still green, wet behind the ears, you would say.
Kepler wouldn't dream of it. Kepler, you wouldn't dream of staying behind, would you?
I would very much like to stay behind, Master Luther.
Oh, yes.
I must tend to your many needs. I must be ready at all times.
That is true, Kepler. Please have my secondary robes cleaned.
Yes.
Of course, if I don't bring... Yes, of course, if Felicity would come with me, I expect her to be brushed. This is all training, by the way, Kepler. All training.
Yes, my lord. As you will it.
Thank you, Kepler. Kepler. My beverage, please.
There you go, sir, as he produces a fine beverage.
Thank you, Captain. Good man.
As you
Well,
sip
gentlemen,
it
if we
tastes a
all
little
agree to-
bitter. It's not quite
Well,
right.
we agreed to meet an hour after dusk. I must tend to the men and try to boost the morale a little bit. So I'm gonna go do what a sergeant does.
Do what a sergeant does. As Wolfram moves off, all of you agreeing to meet for the when night approaches. That's when we're taking our first break.